You know that feeling, right? When you're just stuck in a loop of anxiety or anger or just feeling upset, reacting to things almost like a puppet on a string. It is absolutely exhausting, and it can really feel like there's no way out. But what if the way we've been thinking about this whole problem is, well, just wrong? What if the real solution is somewhere we haven't been looking? Just let that sink in for a second. What if your anxiety isn't your fault? We blame ourselves so much, don't we? We think we're broken or that we're just an anxious person by nature. But this whole explainer, which is based on the amazing wisdom of Girish Jha, suggests something totally different. It suggests that anxiety isn't some personal failing. Nope, it's the product of something else entirely. And this right here is the key to everything we're going to talk about. The source of all that suffering, the anxiety, the anger, the frustration, it doesn't actually come from the world out there. It comes from the way we see the world. It's not the event itself, it's the lens we're looking through. So let's dive into that lens. Imagine you're walking around wearing a pair of foggy glasses. You wouldn't get mad at the world for being blurry, right? Of course not. You'd clean the glasses. Well, our mind works in pretty much the same way. The problem isn't you, it's the fog on your mental lens that's distorting what you see. This is such a perfect example of that distortion in action. In reality, the sun is just rising. That's it. It's a neutral event. But our mind takes its own internal feeling, maybe we're tired or stressed, and projects it onto that event, creating this whole story of a bad morning. We do this constantly, adding a layer of suffering on top of a reality that's actually pretty neutral. So, what exactly is this fog? What's the dust that's making the mirror of our mind so cloudy? It's our attachments and our expectations. It's that little voice in our head that's always demanding things, insisting that people should act a certain way, or that situations should be different. And when reality doesn't line up with those demands, that's when we suffer. Which of course brings us to the architect of all this fog and dust. I mean, if our attachments and expectations are the problem, we've got to figure out where they're coming from. And that source has a name. You've probably heard of it, the ego. Now that word ego gets thrown around a lot, so let's get really specific here. It's not your true self, not even close. Think of it more like a bundle of thought patterns, a kind of false identity that's built on a foundation of insecurity and fear. And here's the most important part. Since it's just a thought pattern, you can learn to observe it. And if you can observe it, you can change it. So how do you know when the ego is running the show? Well, it leaves some pretty clear clues. It's that immediate impulse to blame someone else for how you're feeling. It's the constant complaining about your circumstances. It's that knee-jerk defensiveness, or that burning need to prove that I am right. All of these are just bright red flags waving, hey, the ego has taken the wheel. And here is the simplest, most powerful tool you can possibly have. Seriously, the very moment you feel any kind of discomfort, that little twinge of blame, that urge to complain, that heat of reaction, that is the signal. It's like an alarm bell going off, telling you that an ego-driven attachment is active right now, in this moment. Okay, so we figured out the problem, the fog, and we know its source, the ego. But just knowing that stuff, it's not enough, is it? So how do we actually clean the lens? Well, now we get into the really good part, the practical, step-by-step method for finding clarity. This is the whole process of self-inquiry, and it's really just these 3 simple steps. First, just notice the feeling. Don't judge it, don't fight it, just acknowledge it's there. Oh, there's anxiety. Second, get curious. Ask yourself, what did I want to happen here that didn't? Or what expectation of mine just got stepped on? And third, once you see it, once you see that attachment clearly, you make a conscious choice to just let it go. And this is the magic of it. We're not trying to fix the anxiety or manage the anger. Those emotions are just the symptoms. The actual root cause is the attachment. It's like pulling a weed. You don't just snip off the top, you pull out the root. When you remove the attachment, the negative emotion just dissolves. It has nothing left to hold on to. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? The whole goal isn't to become some kind of emotionless robot. It's to become free from the attachments that create all this unnecessary emotional drama. Real freedom from attachment is freedom from all that reactive suffering. Okay, this all sounds really great in theory, but let's be real for a second. This is not a magic pill. We're talking about shifting mental habits that we've had for years, maybe decades. And like any skill, it takes consistent, dedicated practice. And this is so, so important. Just listening to this, or maybe trying the 3-step process once in a blue moon, it's just not going to create lasting change. It's kind of like going to the gym once a month and then wondering why you're not getting fit. The real transformation only comes from active, repeated, daily effort. So what does that journey actually look like? Well, on a daily basis, you just start reflecting on the moments you got triggered. Weekly, you'll start to see the patterns pop up. You'll go, oh, wow, I always get upset when I feel like I'm being ignored. After a few months, you'll feel a real noticeable shift in how calm you feel day to day. And in the long term, this calm, aware state, it becomes your new normal. And to help you on this journey, here are a few super simple anchors you can use anytime. Just grounding yourself in your posture, shifting your focus outward with a simple chant like, let everyone be happy, or just bringing your attention back to the natural rhythm of your breath. And when your mind inevitably wanders off into anxiety, you can gently guide it back by mentally repeating a calming phrase, something like Om Shanti, I am the peace. And this chart really just spells it all out. Look at the difference here. Passive listening might give you a cool idea, but that's about it, maybe 10% effective. Practicing every once in a while gets you a little further, maybe 30%. But the only way to get to 100%, to achieve that real, lasting transformation, is through committed daily contemplation and reflection. So I'll leave you with this one question to carry with you. Don't judge the answer, just be curious about it. How many times in the last 7 days did you get upset or anxious or angry? Because by simply starting to count, by simply starting to notice, you've already begun the practice of awakened awareness. You've already started to clean the lens.